Welcome back, everyone. It is NewMutator, and I do apologize. You know, some people are saying, "Hey, you should vet these games before you cast them." And while I think that sometimes is beneficial, obviously not all the time. And although this may have been a match where that would have been a good thing to do. However, I don't really have the time to do that right now. I'm just trying to get these up as soon as possible so you guys can see them and enjoy them as well. But I think later on in the tournament I may be able to pay a little bit more attention to how I do these and what goes into them. But in the meantime, it is game number 2 in the DE3 matchup between Grimm's my team, and NewMutator's team, which actually is not my team, but that's a Southern Parkian team there, led by Chef, Sir Rockland, Kruniak, Butters, Randy Marsh, and Eric Hartmanez are all here. So 6 players showing up for them. And for my team, they're going to be in the north opposite the Southern Parkians: Bone, Karma, Grimm, Arsenic, DP, Gecko, Tiri, and Kryptos. Yeah, I kind of liked I liked the scoring in the past. I thought it was pretty interesting, because nobody really knew what the score was until after the match, when it was all calculated. Everybody thought they knew what it was, but it always turned out to be different than everyone thought. And because when I say that, what I'm talking about is when you win a match, it just counts as a win. Or when you win a game, now it just counts as one win, and that's the score. But back in the day, they had all kinds of elaborate equations for figuring out what the score was at the end of a match. Like, 3 points for the win, plus 1 point for every 20% left remaining in your army, plus half a point for each flag tagged or something like that. So even if you lost, you were still getting some points. And then whoever had the most points at the end of the match would take the match. So you can lose more games and yet still win, because if the lost games are closer, say you lose 4 games but they're all super close games, and then the last game you win by a lot, that's it's going to be weighted in your favor. So so you might be able to win the match in that case. However, it's not like that anymore. Now it's just whoever takes the game wins the game. So that's what I think Karma was referring to, at least in my mind, in my imagination. That's what he's referring to. So here it is, flag rally, and yeah, I got some detailed textures for some of these maps, and so I hope that you're able to see that when I post these films. I hope you do notice a difference. This happens to be one with detailed textures, since it is kind of a classic map from back in the day. Keep Across the River is the name of the map. And yeah, we casted this, Punk User and I casted this map already once, and he did mention that it was maybe not his favorite map.
Flag captured.
But I said, that's just because that may be because nobody really plays it all that innovatively. When it came out, I think people were like, yeah, this map is cool. There's all kinds of, and you saw that in a lot of games, all kinds of different ways to play the terrain and stuff like that. Basically with these trees, these fields, and craters and stuff like that. Like, you could run and dodge and stuff like that, and chase people and lead people, and so you saw battles happening in all kinds of weird places. But now it seems like everything just takes place here in the middle, and then here at these home flags, and then, you know, maybe the side flags, but not a whole lot in the spaces in between. Now, having said that, Ericart Menez is in the south. Karma and Grim are in the south as well. My team is going to take the middle and keep Kruniak and Sir Rockland, kind of keep them at bay here. It's going to be DP and Gecko in that archer battle there. Now, Southern Parkians were able to take the north, I think. Yes, they do have the north, and the only thing in the north for my team is Gecko's 3 warriors, and they're going to be vacating it very shortly, and then Bones' tagging goal. That goal is pretty much just for scouting only. And Gecko sending kind of a force to intercept this, if possible. Maybe not. And here's Thierry in the south. I guess he's not going to cross. Maybe he's going to go to the middle. But it looks like Karma and Grim are going to cross here in the south. Interestingly enough, yeah, Thierry's baiting. I think what he's doing is he's baiting somebody to move down to intercept south, and then he's going to move in. And wow, manages to not explode there. Pretty impressive. Chef dealing some damage to his own goal. Losing that dwarf, kind of unfortunate for him. And Thierry not really taking any damage at all in that exchange, even though that bottle could have exploded on his face. And Gecko may very well lose this dwarf. And no, he does lose a dwarf actually, but Bone has another dwarf on defense. And Butters is kind of leading the charge on the flag, so basically it's Bone versus Butters at this point. Nice block there. Somehow Bone managed to keep that pus from going off, and basically Butters is going to rush in here, and Bone is going to defend as best he can. He needs to utilize these thrall to keep. Oh, nice pus there. Impressive pus by Bone. He gets another shot off, dealing some damage, and it looks like he is going to be able to save that dwarf. So we've seen Bone play defense a lot in the Myth World Cup, and I think he's fairly good at it. I've watched him a couple of games, and he's able to keep that flag going. And nice suicide there, dealing some extra damage. He knew he wasn't going to be able to keep that dwarf for very long, so he opted to take it out with some enemy warriors as well. So Butters not able to take the My Team flag. And it looks like Southern Parkians moving down on the south here. And Thierry is kind of in harm's way, but he's managing to retreat to his teammates. Karma able to kind of hold off Randy Marsh for now. And nice shot there by Chef, doing some damage on Thierry. So Chef finally able to connect on Thierry. So I think he was pretty glad about that. Nice snipe there by Grim. And yeah, Karma was able to get that kill with his warrior, that lone thrall. Kind of unfortunate that Southern Parkians sent that thrall out. So the My Team mid is pretty much, you know, there's really nothing going on here. They're at a stalemate at the middle. And so Southern Parkians are peeling off extra forces to deal with the south of My Team, but they're actually down in percentages. I think Butters losing his units didn't really work out for them. They were hoping that he might be able to end the game early, and now that they're down in percentages, They're at a kind of a disadvantage. They don't have pus, as we see Kruniak saying. So 5 minutes remaining, and actually interesting because Southern Parkians are making use of these trees here for cover. And Gecko's going to scout out the home flag of the Southern Parking squad. So they just need, my team just needs flag 3. This is it here. This is the only flag they need. They tagged all the other flags, and Southern Parking still need flag 4 and the home flag of my team, flag 5. And we see nothing at all in the north. Nice pus there, sniping pus by Eric Cartmanez, taking out, I didn't see quite whose that was, probably Karma's, as I think he forgot about these warriors here. Grim tries to get Karma's attention, Karma finally realizing that he did leave those behind. He's going to try to hightail it out of there. But taking a little bit of damage, trying to dodge as he goes. And Grim laying down some cover fire, able to take out Randy Marsh's archer there. So here we go. Southern Parkian's force does slip through. Actually, no, this is Butter's remaining units here. And Tiri is going to attempt to track down Butters. Somehow Butters acquired a dwarf, which is what he's going to use to take out, to attempt to take out Bone on flag 5, since Bone lost his dwarf. And Tiri is going to be mobilizing it to prevent that from happening. And Eric Carmenez actually has a couple of pus, I think. And Karma and Bone both point that out to Tiri, saying look out for the pus. And Tiri has a pus of his own. He's going to be attempting to snipe that dwarf. Gecko is still, he's adding a couple of warriors to his group here. Eventually he wants to be able to take out, there's a large pus there, we see that Thrall standing on it, preventing that goal from being able to pick that up. Pretty wise decision there by the Southern Parkians, although I'm sure they would have preferred that one of their own goals had picked that up. And actually Eric Cartmanez might maneuver to take out this middle force. And yes, he's going to aim for that dwarf, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it. There it goes. Takes it out. So now the middle force for my team looking very precarious. 55 to 49%, so the percentages are evening up just a little bit. It looks like Gecko is actually going to be retreating from the flag.
Flag captured. 1 minute remaining.
So Sir Rockland of Southern Parking is able to tag the middle flag here. While this is happening though, we have Southern Parkins also pushing on the south of my team. And then Tiri engaging with Butters. Tiri took a lot of damage, but he's able to micro pretty well. And nice dodge, only losing one warrior in that process. So I think that my team is going to win this by default. It is flag rally, so the first team to get victory imminent wins. And I think Southern Parkins waited just a little bit too long before they pushed. Although they are still down in percentages, but they do kind of have momentum here. they're gonna try to contest, but there's just too much Grim and Karma on this flag here, and that dwarf goes down just as the game ends. So my team does win game number 2. I think they just got victory imminent first and just played, you know, the patient game. Southern Parkians realized that they were in a pickle, needed to move, and did so just a little late there. They were successfully stalled by my team, who I don't think they actually slut rushed this game. And slut rush, that just means rushed, I guess. I don't know. That's just the idiom, the myth idiom. So for my team, it looks like DP able to get damage here, 88 damage and 9 kills. And Bone actually has the most kills for my team with 11. He did a pretty stellar job on the flag defense, defending against Butters. I think Butters being taken out in the north was kind of the emergency signal to Southern Parkians that they were going to need to do something. But you know what they were able to do, I don't know. It was dampened. Their effort was dampened by my team somehow. Wasn't quite sure exactly how that happened, but my team was just able to stall them and slow them down to the point where they weren't able to push effectively, and until the end, and then at that point it was too late. So Butters actually getting damage for his team with 66. And then 8 kills for him. So the next highest would be Kruniak with 6 kills. Very interesting. Not a whole lot of positive ratios for Southern Parkians. Yeah, just Kruniak basically was the only player with positive ratios, although if you look at the damage for both teams, it is pretty close, 249 to 226. So there you have it. My team is up 2-0. NewMutator bringing you these games. I hope you're enjoying them. We're going to go ahead and move on to game number 3. Will the Southern Parkians be able to take a win? Just a moment.